Hi, Dad. I thought I'd read you something a little more thought-provoking today, instead of just a story. And I always thought you'd like this book, so I thought I'd read it to you. It's pretty short, and I'll read you. It's only got like 6 or 7 chapters. So I'll start with the first chapter from The Art of War by Sun Tzu. Thought you would really like this book. The first chapter is called Strategic Assessments. Master Sun. Military action is important to the nation. It is the ground of death and life, the path of survival and destruction, so it is imperative to examine it. Military action is inauspicious. Li Kuan. Military action is inauspicious. It is only considered important because it is a matter of life and death, and there is the possibility that it may be taken up lightly. Du Mu. The survival or destruction of a country and the life or death of its people may depend on military action, so it is necessary to examine it carefully. Jialin. The ground means the location, the place of pitched battle. Gain the advantage and you live, lose the advantage and you die. Therefore, military action is called the ground of death and life. The path means the way to adjust to the situation and establish victory. Find this and you survive, lose this and you perish. Therefore, it is said to be imperative to examine it. An ancient document says, there is a way of survival which helps and strengthens you. There is a way of destruction which pushes you into oblivion. Mei Yachan. Whether you live or die depends on the configuration of the battleground. Whether you survive or perish depends on the way of the battle. So in case you don't know how this book works, basically Sun Tzu gives a quote and then a bunch of Chinese generals from that time comment on what that quote might mean. So, Master Sun, that's Sun Tzu. Therefore, measure in terms of 5 things. Use these assessments to make comparisons, and thus find out what the conditions are. The 5 things are the way, the weather, the terrain, the leadership, and discipline. Du Mu. 5 things are to be assessed: the way, the weather, the lay of the land, the leadership, and discipline. These are to be assessed at headquarters. First, assess yourself and your opponent in terms of these 5 things, deciding who is superior. Then you can determine who is likely to prevail. Having determined this, only then should you mobilize your forces. Cao Cao. Assessments of the following items are to be made at headquarters: the leadership, the opponent, the terrain, troop strength, distance, and relative danger. Wang Ji. Assess the leadership, the environmental conditions, discipline, troops, officers, and the system of rewards and punishments. Zhang Yu. Master Guan said that assessments should be made at home before sending troops abroad. Assessments are the first order of business and military operations. Some say that military operations should be adjusted right on the spot, in confrontation with the opponent, but General Cao Cao says that assessments should be made at headquarters. This is because it is imperative first to assess the wisdom of the leaders, the strength of the opponent, the lay of the land, and the number of troops. Then, when the 2 armies confront one another, the adaptations to be made are determined by the leadership in a manner consistent with these calculations. Discipline means that regulations are strict and clear. The reason that leadership and discipline come last in this list of 5 things is that whenever you mobilize it to attack those who have done you wrong, it is necessary first to look into the matter of whether you are appreciated and trusted by your own people, then to assess the favorability or otherwise of weather conditions, and then examine the qualities of the terrain. Once these 3 things are fulfilled, then a leader is appointed to go forth on the expedition. Once the army has gone forth, all orders come from the general. Wang Ji. Harmony among people is the basis of the way of military operations. The right weather and an advantageous position help. When these three elements are present, then it is time to discuss mobilizing the army. Mobilizing the army requires ability on the part of the leadership. When the leadership is able, then there will be good discipline. Master Sun. The way means inducing the people to have the same aim as the leadership, so that they will share death and share life without fear of danger. Cao Cao. This means guiding them by instruction and direction. Danger means distrust. Zhang Yu. If the people are treated with benevolence, faithfulness, and justice, then they will be of one mind and will be glad to serve. The I Ching says, joyful in difficulty, the people forget about their death. Du Mu. The way means humaneness and justice. In ancient times, a famous minister of state asked a political philosopher about military affairs. The philosopher said, humaneness and justice are the means by which to govern properly. When government is carried out properly, people feel close to the leadership and think little of dying for it. Jia Lin. If the leaders can be humane and just, sharing both the gains and the troubles of the people, then the troops will be loyal and naturally identify with the interests of the leadership. Master Sun. The weather means the seasons. Cao Cao. The rules of the ancient military state that operations should not be carried out in winter or summer out of concern for the people. Zhang Yu, quoting the founder of the Tang dynasty. In ancient times, many soldiers lost their fingers to frostbite on campaigns against the Huns, and many soldiers died of plague on campaigns against the southern tribes. This was because of carrying out operations in winter and summer. Wang Ji, quoting from Fan Li. This is the meaning of the saying, don't go into another's territory at an unfavorable time. Master Sun. The terrain is to be assessed in terms of distance, difficulty, or ease of travel, dimension, and safety. Zhang Yu. In any military operation, it is important first to know the lay of the land. When you know the distance to be traveled, in any military operation, it is important first to know the lay of the land. When you know the distance to be traveled, then you can plan whether to proceed directly or by a circuitous route. When you know the difficulty or ease of travel, then you can determine the advantages of infantry or mounted troops. When you know the dimensions of the area, then you can assess how many troops you need, many or few. When you know the relative safety of the terrain, then you can discern whether to do battle or disperse. Master Sun. Leadership is a matter of intelligence, trustworthiness, humaneness, courage, and sternness. A general should have these five, as Cao Cao, a general should have these five virtues. Du Mu. The way of the ancient kings was to consider humaneness foremost, while the martial artists considered intelligence foremost. This is because intelligence involves the ability to plan and to know when to change effectively. Trustworthiness means to make people sure of punishment or reward. Humaneness means love and compassion for people, being aware of their toils. Courage means to seize opportunities to make certain of victory without vacillation. Sternness means to establish discipline in the ranks by strict punishments. Jia Lin. Reliance on intelligence alone results in rebelliousness. Exercise of humaneness alone results in weakness. Fixation on trust results in folly. Dependence on the strength of courage results in violence. Excessive sternness of command results in cruelty. When one has all five virtues together, each appropriate to its function, then one can be a military leader. Discipline means organization, chain of command, and logistics. That was Master Sun, by the way. Mei Yao Chen. Organization means that the troops must be grouped in a regulated manner. Chain of command means that there must be officers to keep the troops together and lead them. Logistics means overseeing supplies. Master Sun. Every general has heard of these 5 things. Those who know them, those who do not know them, do not. Sorry. Master Sun. Every general has heard of these 5 things. Those who know them prevail. Those who do not know them do not prevail. Zhang Yu. Everyone has heard of these 5 things, but only those who deeply understand the principles and adaptation, the principles of adaptation and impasse will win. Master Sun. Therefore, use these assessments for comparison to find out what the conditions are. This is to say, which political leadership has the way, which general has ability, who has the better climate and terrain, whose discipline is effective, whose troops are stronger, whose officers and soldiers are better trained, whose system of rewards and punishments is clear. This is how you can know who will win. Li Quan. A political leadership that has the way will surely have a military leadership that has intelligence and ability. Du Mu. Ask yourself which political leadership, your own or that of your enemy, is able to reject flatterers and draw close to the wise.